Yeah, so good day, traders, and welcome to another trading week. And I hope you guys had a very successful trading week. And the usual practice, I'm just going to be analyzing the markets to review what has happened in the past week and then look at what we are supposed to be expecting in the coming week. And as usual, we'll be looking at the dollar index, the gold chart, the US 30, the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and then the Bitcoin. So the interaction between the DXY and the other ones that are, kind of very directly closely related to DXY is if we have an understanding of what to expect on DXY, then we can use that to have an understanding of the reverse of what may most likely be happening on the gold chart and other indices and Bitcoin. So I'm going to go back to weekly time frame, and this is where we are now. This was the projection that was made some time ago. The projection that was made some time ago. Projection that was made some time ago started from that point, and we're expecting that price should, pull back by some distance, which we don't know yet. So this is what price have done. It has started doing the pullback just as we have anticipated. And at the minimum, it's supposed to get to somewhere around here. And then if it makes a deep correction, then it's supposed to get to somewhere around here. And if we also go back into history, this was what I gave some time ago when price have not even started going that far. So I gave the indication that price is going to get to Y level, and then at the Y level, I also gave a projection or trade setup that price should then start selling from there. And so price goes to that Y level and then came back, and which is where we are right now. We are still expecting to pull back up before price may most likely then continue the movements downwards. And so let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, for this kind of setup, we expect the price should do this and then come all the way back to retest this area, which is most likely going to be giving you something that may look like an inverse shoulder pattern for us to then, have that break of neckline that is going to come to this point before we then start having that sell setup. But that's like the overall expectation. But for now, what we are expecting right now is just, price getting to this point. So for the time being, we should be expecting some bullish continuation on the dollar index, and it's most likely going to be a three-wave move. That's price getting here and then doing a pullback and then coming all the way down here. And so when it gets here, it's going to most likely give it some kind of sideways correction and like this before it then blasts out from that point. But that's a long journey. The one that interests us right now is this one right here. So with that, let's go to the 4 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours time frame, we seem to be having something that looks like a flag setup right here. But it has not been completed yet. This is where I put in that price should get to right here. So should expect some more up push up to this point right here before price then come down for the three-wave correction before you then have that move to the upside. So as it is right now, we should expect some bullish movement in this coming week. And then after that, we should expect price to come all the way down to come and retest this area before you then have possibly having that move to the upside. So the formation right here is a three-wave correction pattern that we most likely be expecting, where price have moved up and then it's making a sideways correction right here, and then after that going all the way to this top, giving like a zigzag structure. So as it is right now, we should expect three wave 1, 2, and 3, which is about the minimum. So you're supposed to have a three-wave correction right here, and then after that, you then expect price to continue the journey upward. So with this right here, the take home that we can get right from here is that we expect price to, get to test this point, and then after that, do some kind of move weakness up to this area, giving you this flag setup right here, and that's what we should be expecting in the coming week. So with that, we can then go to our MT4, and then I'm going to start from what we agreed on as the expected price action in the past week. And so after this weekly webinar that was posted on Monday or so, I showed you that there are supposed to be some weaknesses on the dollar index, which is this one. That price is supposed to pull back on the dollar index, and then based on that expectation, I then gave this trade setup that price should go up on the US 30, and then also on the US Tech, and then also on the S&P 500. So let's go to our chart and then to our MT4 and see how price fared. So the first one is the dollar index, which is this one. So this was where I gave that trade setup that price should go up. Let me use another color there. Now price should go up here and then sell off. But eventually price did some spike up, giving us a kind of a divergence formation before the true sell eventually happened. But the trade setup was still valid in the sense that price still went just as what we want it to be. That means price still selling off from that point. So let me go back to the trade setup. So this is the trade setup right here. So I was saying that when price gets to that point, we should expect it to come down, do that pullback. So if we go back to this point, which is where it is, the price should go into the box and then should sell off. But eventually, it didn't really sell off immediately. See this some kind of spike around here before it eventually did that sell off. So as it is right now, what we're expecting from this point is price to possibly retest the weekly pivot zone. That's this area. Let's even see if we have a monthly pivot around there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the level of the area where price should get to here, and then I can take that to the MT4. I'm going to copy the coordinates 103.935, and then can then come here and draw a horizontal line and paste it here. So which is this point. So which means that as it is right here, we should expect price to come and test this area. So when price tests this area, there's most likely going to be some self-reaction around that point. Remember that the overall trade setup that we are looking at right here is a flag setup. It's a flag setup right here that is most likely going to eventually break out. But it's not just going to be breaking out immediately. Most likely gets here and then come all the way back to this point again to retest it before it then continues. So when market open on Monday, which is tomorrow, we expect that there will be some strength on dollar index. And then after that, when price gets here, after that, we should be looking out for weakness. So the take on that we can have from here is that we're expecting a push up and then a weakness. So based on this, it will let us have an understanding of what to expect by the time we get to other USD related pair. So with that, let's go to Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin, price have just been moving stylishly sideways, and what we are expecting from here is more like a reverse of what we have seen on the dollar index chart. So right here, we should expect price to continue this sell-off that happened around here, where price sold off. So we should expect a sell-off to continue around that point, possibly up to this area, and then price pulling back up. So which is going to be the trade setup that I'll be looking at in the coming few days to come. So a sell continuation possibly up to that point, and then a pullback on the Bitcoin chart. And then let's go to gold, the gold chart. So for the gold chart also, let me go to the higher time frame. So for the gold chart also, I told you guys that we should expect a sell-off from the gold chart, which was what eventually happened, and then price did this kind of sideways correction. So with this side of sideways correction, what may most likely happen is price just coming to retest the level that it breaks out from, and then do the proper sell-off before eventually then do the pullback. So remember that we are going to be looking out for the reverse of what we were able to get on the dollar index chart. So right now we are looking at price possibly coming all the way down and then doing a pullback up. Then for US 30, let's go to US 30. So for US 30, this was where we were. This was where we were in US 30 when I gave that trade setup. I'll go back to the Telegram channel. This is US 30 trade setup that I gave on the 1 hour time frame. That price may most likely get here and then bounce off. So with that, let me go to the MT4. So with that, this was where we were right here, where I said that price is most likely going to go up and pull back. So we had exactly that happening. Price actually went as expected, went to that up, but it didn't go up that much. After that, it just started dancing almost around the same region. But as it is right now, remember that what we are looking for is the reverse of the dollar index. And for the dollar index, what we did was a price going up and then eventually coming back to retest the low. So with this right here, we should expect the reverse, which is price coming all the way down, possibly up to this point, possibly up to that level, and then bouncing off from there. So I will give that update very soon. But right here, we're expecting, look at this kind of sell candle that came right here. So this is just the correction of that sell candle. And then after that, you may most likely have the same kind of length, length of candle that you have here. You might most likely be having it right here up to this point, and then price can most likely then bounce up from there. So the take home that we can have from here is that we are expecting a sell-off, a sell continuation at that point. So US Tech. So for US Tech, I also gave this trade setup for US Tech, which is this NASDAQ on 4 hours time frame. The price may most likely get to this box area and then sell off from there. So let's go to our chart and see what eventually happened. This is a 4 hours time frame. So this was where I gave that trade setup, and then price actually went up, but it didn't get inside this red zone that we have marked. It only just did a pullback up and then it sold up from there. So we're very close to what we have anticipated. This is a trade setup once again. That price is most likely going to go up, but this was what eventually happened. Price got to that point. Price got to this point, and then the sell-off started from there. The same thing for S&P 500. The price should go up and possibly get into the red zone and then sell off. But I think what happened for the S&P 500 is very similar. Price goes to somewhere around here, and then the sell-off started. So the trade idea was still the same, just that price didn't get to exact point where we would have loved it to get to. So the S&P 500, which was what I just explained right there, price got to this point, and then the sell-off started from there. So as it is right now for the S&P 500, this is most likely going to be looking like a shoulder pattern for some of you guys that know how to trade pattern formation. And so we should be looking for a sell continuation around here, possibly up to the point before price eventually starts going up. So what it means is that when dollar index is going up, we should expect this sell off. And then when dollar index starts the sell off, then we should expect price to then start rallying. So I think that sums it up for the trade setup right here. So what I'm going to be doing right now is that I'm going to update the charts as to our expectation. And so for the Bitcoin, I'm going to be posting that in the group right now that we are expecting a sell from this point. And then we expect that price should get to this area for our target. So I'm going to quickly post this right now. For Bitcoin, we're expecting a sell-off up to that area. So I'm just going to quickly post it in the group. Bitcoin trade setup for the week. I'll post update later in the when price gets to that point. And then for gold, let's go to gold. For gold, I think I'll prefer this one. I'm going to take this one right here. That means we expect price to sell off from that point, from this area, to continue just a retest of that point and then sell and possibly get to this area. So this one, I'm going to give it a line. And then I'm going to draw a line around here, which shows where price should get to at the very minimum if it's selling. So with this, I'm just going to pause this and then give that trade setup, and then come here, give you guys, yeah, gold. And US 30, for US 30, let me clear this, this, and this. And then go to this one right here. So we're expecting a sell-off from here on the US 30. And then we're expecting a target to be somewhere around here for US 30. Let me take this one out and then give this one a line. So we're expecting a sell-off on US 30 up to that point. US 30. And then for NASDAQ, 1 hour time frame or 4 hours time frame. Should I use this one? Okay, I think I prefer to use this. So I'm going to update this and take this one down. So the most likely possible movement for here is price just coming back to retest this initial support zone that is most likely going to be resistance right now, and then the sell zone still stands. So I'm going to take this one off and then also take this one. Okay, let me just leave that for reference purpose. And so we're expecting price to possibly get inside that box for a text and then coming all the way down to sell off from there. So I'm going to post this in a group too. And we're looking for a sell here, and then price gets into that point. So that gives for US, for NASDAQ. US 100. And then last but not the least, S&P 500, the same straight setup that we have on NASDAQ is what we are most likely going to be expecting on the S&P 500. Let me just move this more to this zone. So we have this price coming all the way here and then selling, possibly selling up to that point. P500. And then another thing that I need to let you guys know is the expectation for the week, which is the fundamental, that is most likely going to be coming out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday around 2 p.m. And if you guys know that, so next week we are going to be having news by 2:30 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if you guys know that the US 30 or the indices and all that usually move around the same time. So if you want to plan your trade very well, you want to plan your trade towards the release of the news, either towards the release of the news or the after effect of the news. So what I mean in essence is this. If, let me use this as an example. So let me use that as an example. So if, for instance, on Monday, price is somewhere around here, on that Monday, that price is somewhere around here, and then on Tuesday around 2:30, the news release is going to come, then you can then look for a sell position because the sell that is going to be happening in the market is going to be very, very strong. And there's every tendency that if you trade before the news release, that if you trade on Monday, price is not going to be moving well. And the reason is because most professional traders are not going to want to be in the position until around the news period. That's when they expect very high volatility in the market. So you want to also take notice of this news that will be happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's the CPI and retail sales figures that are going to be released on those period, and then be well positioned to take advantage of the price movement that may most likely occur around that period. So that's it for the week, and then I'll see you guys next week. Take care, have a good trading, and bye for now.